A mass shooting at a grocery store in Colorado leaves 10 people dead, and we're still learning about all of those 10 victims. So far, we've heard about one, and that victim was a police officer and father of 7.
Well, Philadelphia Police Commissioner Danielle Outlaw joined us now. Commissioner, thank you for being with us. And any time we lose a law enforcement officer, I know you would consider him a brother in blue. It affects all police officers, I would think.
Good morning. It absolutely does. Thanks for having me this morning.
So when I was watching the coverage yesterday, what a massive police presence. Police officers from all sorts of jurisdictions all over that part of Colorado, the north range of the Rockies, or the Front Range. God forbid that would happen here, Commissioner. How do we handle it? Is it just Philly police officers, or would you allow other jurisdictions to flood into the area as well?
Yeah, so I think we'd expect something similar here for sure. Obviously, our responses would be coordinated. It's not uncommon when something like that occurs that local or our regional partners would self-deploy, and they would self-deploy to a staging area or a mobile command post, and then from there they would receive instruction on where to deploy, who's in charge, our communications, get an idea of what the scene is at that time, what we're dealing with. It's really important to make sure that we're all on the same page in making sure that we walk through incidents such as that systemically and in a coordinated way.
And you practice this all the time, I would imagine.
Yeah, I mean, you know, active shooter drills became critically important to us decades ago. I think, you know, when we saw the school shootings and then we saw more and more people, you know, whether they were copycats or not, more and more of these types of incidents happening throughout the country. And it became a critical part of not only our training while in the academy, but also during our in-service training to make sure that we're not only prepared for this, but you're also beginning to see police departments train with their communities and their local faith-based institutions, so they too know what to do when something like this possibly occurs.
You know, it's really something to think about, the fact that this is the second mass shooting that we've seen in the span of a week. And people have been wondering, because with the one that happened in Atlanta, it seemed we got information out pretty quickly about the suspect. Yet with this one, even though we saw, and there's video of a suspect, potential suspect being taken from the scene, we don't know the name or any details. What would be the difference? Is it just based on the crime scene and what police are dealing with, and why in some cases we do have that information and others we don't?
It really depends. You know, obviously I don't know what was going on at the leadership level at the time this was occurring, but we have to be very careful with what we put out as these things are occurring, because we don't want to broadcast live our tactics or what we're doing to try to get people out safely. We don't want to compromise safety. We don't want to compromise tactics. So it's really important, and it's really easy to Monday morning quarterback, but again, without knowing what was happening at that time, that, you know, the communication strategy really does differ, depends on what you're dealing with at that time.
This is so difficult too, because I think Officer Talley was one of the first officers on the scene in the parking lot of the grocery store. And SWAT takes a while to get there. I understand that. I think it's just so dangerous for the patrol officers who go first, and in these mass shootings, most people are shot within a minute and a half, 2 minutes. So the patrol officers really do have to get in there first, and sometimes all they have is a handgun compared to an AR-15 or whatever. What do our patrol officers carry? Do they have long guns in each car?
We're not all equipped with long guns, and again, it really depends on the unit that we're talking about, where we are in the city. And, you know, again, I'm very careful about Monday morning quarterbacking. The good news is that our SWAT team is full-time here, unlike in other places, so their ability to deploy would be a little bit quicker. Our response time would be faster. But with that said, we don't always know what we have until we get there. I don't know what Officer Talley knew when he approached the building, and, you know, we don't know what was waiting for him inside, but it's very clear. Obviously, I think we all know that the equipment that our patrol officers have, or our line level officers have, is not the same of that of our specialized unit.
Gotcha.
The good news again is that we do have enough specialized units here within the city that we can quickly deploy and respond and coordinate if we,
Good.
if we did have something like that come up.
It's just a horrible situation that happened there in Boulder. But we
It's
have
terrible.
been dealing with a lot here in Philadelphia as well. And I know that as the weather is getting warmer, I've seen a number of people say, well, it's great that the weather's nice. Usually that means we see an increase in violence, even though it seems like over the past year it's been continuous. But normally when the weather gets warmer, the crimes go up. Is there a plan to put more police officers on the streets or to do something differently now that more people will be out?
Yeah, the biggest thing for us is, beyond visibility, right? But being intentional and strategic about where we're visible. So throughout the year, we've made sure that we've increased our presence in our hotspots or our areas where we know the likelihood of violence is higher, or where we've seen a higher number of shootings and or homicides. With that said, moving forward into the summer when we know, or just warmer weather, right, in general, we know that we have to not only increase our presence, but increase our presence in the areas where there could be large gatherings, where there's people outside congregating, where there's children at play. So for example, our recreation centers, it's important for us to be in communications with Park and Rec to make sure that we know what events they'll be hosting, what programming will be taking place, so we can also step up our presence in those locations, whether they're in, again, recreation centers or once we roll out safe streets. So for us, it's making sure that the communication starts now, which it has, with those other stakeholders in the city that are responsible for programming, and then that the communication is constant so we can make sure that we not only have a visible presence, but we're actually out there on foot, we're actually out there on bicycles, so we can actually get out and engage as well.
Do we have enough cops to do this, enough police officers to do this? How is the recruitment going? Do we have a big class at the academy, or I keep hearing people are, retiring early because they don't want to be cops anymore?
I will tell you, and that's actually a nationwide thing that we're seeing. Our attrition rates, we're losing folks either to their eligibility and wanting to retire, or for other reasons, whether it's long-term injuries or they're on restricted duty or whatever it is. So our authorized strength, we're down actually by a few hundred officers. But the good news is, and I appreciate you asking, the good news is that we're recruiting. Our recruitment is open. We want folks to come and apply to be police officers. We think that some of our best recruiters are not only those of us who work here, but also people in the community. So if anyone out there, you think someone in your neighborhood would be a great fit for a police officer, I think the best thing for them to do now is to, put out, wave their flag, be their biggest fan and their supporters and their cheerleaders, and encourage them to come down and
We
apply.
hope they take you up on it, because like you said, if you're going to flood these communities with more officers, we need more officers, not less. And Alex had brought up that we've had two big mass shootings in the last week, the one in Atlanta. Have you seen an uptick in crimes, aggressiveness toward our Asian community? Do we have more officers in Chinatown now?
Yeah, so, we increased our visibility in Chinatown, especially after the incident that took place in Atlanta. There was an uptick over the past year, but the numbers were very small. And I don't know if, unfortunately, the numbers are small because there's underreporting, or the numbers are small just because we're not seeing it here. But it doesn't mean that there isn't rightfully so, there isn't an increase in fear, or the perception that those who are of Asian descent could be targeted because of an anti-Asian sentiment. So, not only do we condemn violence against those who are of Asian descent, but at the same time, we want to do and ensure that we are communicating with them, that we are not only there for them, but, our visibility will increase. And that we want to make sure we keep the lines of communications open so that if they do need to report something to us, that they can feel safe in doing so.
A couple of people on Twitter say thanks for cracking down on the ATVs. That's all we have time to say about that. Commissioner, thank you for being with us.
My pleasure, and you're welcome.
Thank you, Commissioner.
All right.